All right, let's continue some practice situations. This time, there's an external force pushing this block all the way up the incline. And there isn't any friction, and it pushes it up at constant speed. All right? Hit pause and see if you can find the equation that works for this situation. Well, there is an external force, and the initial potential energy is 0. It starts from the 0 reference point at the bottom. And notice there's constant speed. There isn't any change in the kinetic energy. If there was kinetic initial, it would equal the kinetic final. They cancel out. And there isn't any friction. Therefore, there isn't any work against friction. And so what we end up with is a very simple equation that the external force times distance equals the potential energy final. Well, let's look at another one. This time, here's the general equation. We have an external force pushing this block all the way up. There isn't any friction, but there's a constant acceleration. Hit pause and find the equation that describes this situation. All right, the initial potential energy is 0. It goes away. There's a force times distance, an external work being done. There's an initial kinetic energy possibly. It's accelerating. There's a final kinetic energy. There's a final potential energy, but there's no friction, so no work against friction. There's the equation. Make sure you study it, understand exactly how that happened. Let's try another one. This time, we have an external force, there's friction, and a constant acceleration. Study the situation, hit pause, and find the equation that works. Well, once again, we see that the initial potential energy is 0. And when we look at all of the other factors there, we need everything. Everything is there. So study that carefully. Let's try one last one. This time, there's our 0, our point of 0 reference. The external force starts part way up the incline. There's friction and a constant acceleration as it pushes it up to the top. So, hit pause, find the equation that works in this situation. If you examine it carefully, we find there it is. It's the full meal deal. Everything is there in this equation. The force times distance, the initial kinetic potential, final kinetic potential, and work done against friction. Study it well.